Good morning. What is going on, stylists from the back room? We have a very special guest with us today. We've got Tony Difraia from All Nutrient joining us. We're going to be talking about some fun stuff coming from All Nutrient, especially some new colors, some color technology, talking about toning, and a lot of other fun stuff as well. Tony, good morning. Thank you
Good
for joining
morning,
us.
guys. Eddie and John, it's always fun to see you guys and talk to you guys. I got to do a little bit more live and in-person stuff with you. I feel like I haven't seen you guys now for at least, 2 years? Haven't been out, at least a year and a half. So I think it's time for a visit out to the great city of Chicago and come out and do some fun stuff with you. Pat, thanks for having me on. I'm excited, and I'm excited to give you some new updates on some things going on with All Nutrient and our All Nutrient hair color line and our keratin hair color, which is really going absolutely bonkers. So yeah, thanks for having me on.
Last time I seen you, you said you was going to be spending time in the lab, like a mad scientist. All I could think of is Dexter's Laboratory, that little cartoon, that little kid's cartoon.
That's kind of what it's like around here. For a guy, Eddie, we're all hairdressers, right? John, Eddie, myself, we're all hairdressers. And one of the things that I really love about this company is that I can walk into the office, walk into the lab, and not only do I get the owner of the company there, but I get all the chemists. So when I have a question, I can go into the lab and say to a chemist, why does this happen? Or what is this ingredient? Or why are we using this and not that? Who else gets to do that? I mean, right. I'm like a kid in a candy store, especially when it comes to formulations and doing some of these dye outs and, picking fragrances for some of our product. Let me tell you, it's a dream come true. For a guy like me, I'm just like you guys. I mean, we're hairdressers. That's it. But for a guy like me to have access to the intelligence side of our business, the chem lab is unheard of. And I don't know too many people. And Eddie, you've met Chuck. John, you've met Chuck.
Yeah.
Whoever meets the owner of a major corporation face to face with a handshake, let's go out to dinner, we have breakfast, we have coffee. He's a regular guy. This is what is so great about working with this company.
One of my favorite Chuck stories is when I was up in New Hampshire with you guys, and Chuck looks at me and goes, "You like ice cream? Let's go get ice cream."
Well, just so you know, we just had a color certification about a month ago in New Hampshire, and we had a full house, and we had some people from your area, Eddie and John, the young girls from the Chicago area that came, who, by the way, were an absolute ball to have there. They were all great. And we had a Ben and Jerry's truck come to the parking lot on day 2 and serve all kinds of ice cream, any cocktail of combination of ice cream that you'd want from Ben and Jerry's. So yeah, we like food. We like ice cream.
It's awesome. It's awesome. My favorite Chuck story is driving to the restaurant and I'm just arguing with him about keratin. This was way back when keratin first came out. Yeah. And I'm just arguing with him on our way to the restaurant. And Darren's sitting in the car going, "Oh God, these two are going to kill each other."
I'm surprised the restaurant let you out.
And all we're doing is sitting right next to each other, discussing, I can't wait for dessert. Look at this dessert. Look at this dessert. Look at this dessert.
There you go. That's Chuck. I mean, he's a real guy, just a good friend, awesome. A real guy, hardworking guy. I'll tell you, I've learned so much about life working with Chuck, about, nothing happens without hard work. Right. And of all the guys that I know, I don't think I've ever met a man more committed to what he's doing than Chuck. The day has no clock. I mean, he gets up early and he's at the office late at night. He's there on weekends working. The man just loves what he loves and he does it to the best that he can. And the results are the fact that here is this New Hampshire-based, American-made, organically based product line making headway all across the United States, Canada, Mexico, the islands, and a little bit into Europe, out of Manchester, New Hampshire. It's unheard of. And we're privately owned. We're not part of a conglomerate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff.
So Tony, give us, spill the tea, my friend. Tell us what's going on.
Now, listen, we've been getting a lot of calls. You guys know that about 3-4 years ago, we started doing our dilution program where we made 5 different shades of silvers. We made 5 different shades using orchids and purples that blew the market away using regular stock color. Hairdressers always want the next step. And this is what we got from people saying, why can't I have it as a ready-made bottle that I can just open the top, put it in, shake it up, put it on? We listened. I thought I was being kind of pushing the envelope a little bit by, taking an HCS and putting 3 drops on it to make a beautiful gray. But, hairdressers, when we're in a busy state at the salon, they want plug and play. Open the cap, put it in the bowl, add your developer, mix it, slap it on, off we go, bang. So we listened, and Chuck and the lab, they came up with 7 new shades of toners. I don't know if you guys can see all of them. 7 new shades. They're going to be they are available right now. So they're available for purchase right now. These are absolutely gorgeous shades. You guys have been wanting us to do a rose gold. I've given people hundreds of rose gold, my rose gold. So now this is the all nutrient keratin rose gold right here. It's our version of a rose gold. You wanted something that would be a violet for offsetting warmth. There you go. Violet for offsetting warmth. We gave you an 8 double V. Really purpley violet. We gave you a 9 V. You expect me to see that little bottle from here?
Tony, can you hold up that swatch board again with the V? Just
Absolutely.
to give everybody.
I'll back up a little bit.
Yeah, that ABV is no joke. I'll tell you that.
Well, it's just like anything with all nutrient. There's no joke with the pigment deposit. Look at that. That's awesome.
And here's the difference between us and the rest of the world. The rest of the world has got similar shades, but they infuse them with direct dyes. We're not using any direct dyes here. We're staying 100% oxidative dyes. We're staying true to our model of our permanent color and keratin staying 100% oxidative dyes. Why are we doing this where the rest of the world's going direct dyes? The direct dyes don't last. Number one, they are a surface cling-on dye. Some of them will saturate with porosity, but our goal is to not damage hair during the lightening process. So we don't want to create a porosity level that is so high that it's not going to hold. You got to have something left in the hair for color to hold on to. So by going with the oxidative dyes, we're feeling that we can get more dye load, deeper penetration, better coupling, a bigger final molecular structure internally that will last. And that's something that everybody else in the market is missing. They're missing the fact that their colors don't last. And I don't understand it. Why would I do a toner? I just did a program in Pennsylvania a couple of weeks ago, and I went down for a weekend. And the biggest complaint we had, not complaint, but people that transitioned from other color lines to us with toning was the fact that, my God, I did one of your colors 3 weeks ago. The client came in just for a blowout because she was going somewhere. That color was exactly the same. 3 weeks later, she said, I never got that with my other color. I can't tell you who it is, but it's a major player. All right? It's a major player that has this new bilevolent dye load, a oxidative light base with a heavier surface base, direct dyes. Direct dyes simply don't bond. They just crumble away with the shampoo. Another girl told me a story that she had a client, no matter what she's done with her with lightening and toning. And by the way, I don't know how it is in Chicago. We're finding this trend. A lot of salons are turning into lightening and toning salons. Are you seeing that out there?
Yes.
We're getting away from root repair or root structures. In other words, no root color. We're just bleaching and tone, bleach and tone, bleach and tone. Well, when you're doing that type of work and your toners don't last, you've got a problem. Because what are you going to do when a really good customer calls you up and preface, people don't wash their hair every day anymore, which is a good thing, especially for the bleach and tone salon. So they don't wash their hair day. So Mary Jones comes in on a Thursday, and you do your bleach and tone, and she goes home, and everything is fine. Sunday, she washes her hair. Monday, you get a phone call. I just washed my hair, and I don't know. It doesn't look like it did yesterday. I was only there Thursday. Shouldn't I have gotten longer wear out of this than that? Well, you probably used the wrong shampoo. Listen, hairdressers
Did
are
you
the
breathe?
best circumstance in the world. We've been taught the juggle, right? Da, 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 up goes the juggle.
You have a water softener. Yeah.
No, it gets even better than that. They'll say, and then the client might say, well, I bought the shampoo from you. Oh, well, then the conditioner probably wasn't an acidic based. I bought it from you. Oh, well, you probably use water in your shower that is too hot to support the fragility of the toner because, the toner is very fragile because it's sheer, blah, blah, blah. And then the client might say, well, it's funny because I shower with cold water. We don't have any hot water in the house. Stretching it a little bit here, right? And then finally, this is the best. Your water pressure is so strong in the shower that you are physically blowing the molecules out of your hair. And this is the
I
answer.
like that one. Can I use that one, Tony? I like that one.
Here's the answer that they got. No, we have terrible water pressure. It takes me an hour to shower. It's barely a trickle.
An hour to shower. It's just a trickle. It's like at the beach. It just trickles.
It's a trickle. Okay, it's like a rain. It's a trickle. So the bottom line is that customer is telling you, listen, Paisan, I'm coming back to your salon, and you're going to redo this toner because it didn't last. That's what we want to avoid. That's it. And if you follow the rules of toning and staining, you're going to be very successful with our keratin. Number one, 100% oxidative dyes. Number two, ammonia-free, AMP-driven, not MEA. So in the chain of the alkalins, which ammonia is your most effective and strongest, but it's also in relation to lift and deposit. Right. MEA, lift and deposit, man-made synthetic alkaline. AMP is an organic-based alkaline, very mild, beautifully suited for deposit where lift is not needed. So you've got a super heavy dye load, you have a very mild alkaline, and we're using demi-developer, and you can leave this color because it doesn't have direct dye, 15 to 20, 25 minutes if needed, and you're going to get full deposition of tone. And it's going to last. That's the bottom line. It's about the lasting color. So we're thrilled. I mean, we've been doing absolutely gangbusters with keratin, but now with these guys, it's blowing up. It's blowing up. You want to cancel out yellow? Go ahead. Try that 9V. You want to cancel out a little stronger yellow-red? Go with that double V, 8 double V. You want a purple? Somebody wants to be a purple passion people eater? Give her that 8VV straight on the head. It's a phenomenal. I mean, I don't get a lot of work like that. Maybe you guys do. You're a little younger than me. John, you're about, what, a month older than me?
I'm more like 6 months older than you, Tony.
Okay. Eddie's a baby in the car.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't get work like that, but my staff does. We do it all the time.
Yeah.
We're making it by diluting an eggplant. We've got it now. We've got it right here, ready to go, plug and play. So these shades, very, very dynamic, and they're very market trendy now. Market trendy now. If I could read these without my glasses. So this one here is a honey cream. I love this shade. It reminds me of a 10, if you could dilute a little bit of 8T with a touch of a gold, that's what I picture this. Beautiful on pre-light there. The sand, the desert sand. Again, what a great looking tone. Yeah. All these tones are really, really great. And they're available now. Plug and play, open a bottle. We do recommend demi-developer, a liquid demi-developer. And don't be afraid to leave it on. If you have super thin, porous hair and you're afraid of oversaturation, cut them a little bit with 00 clear. That 00 clear is a glosser sealer diluter. Glosser sealer diluter. So if you're worried about oversaturation or maybe on the blue side of things, so I don't know. I know you guys do a lot of education. That's why I love you guys. because we speak the same language, whether we're on the air or we're
Right.
talking on the phone. You know, saturation and deposition are two things that we push and push and push, because timing and development of color is what's needed for longevity. So with All Nutrient, the 00 Clear, it's a versatile little product because, and I think Eddie and I, we might have talked about this on a previous session that we did. Sometimes you have a situation where you might have a client whose lightener comes up absolutely perfect. So what you do, you don't want to tone it. Simply take 00 Clear and put it on, and just seal that hair so it doesn't pick up contaminants from well water, town water, products that have dyes in them, direct dyes, shampoos, conditioners, not ours, but there's products out there that have all kinds of product in them with artificial color that will stain that perfectly blonde hair. This will keep it brighter longer. So
Yeah.
Will it protect against the hot water and strong water pressure as well?
Yeah, and absolutely. And don't forget the flat iron, curling iron crap. and these new 4,000 degree blow dryers that shoot a little flame out the end when we dry the hair, because everything has to be like
500 degree freaking flat iron. Yeah.
You, you know, French fries are made at 350. Us, we're using flat irons at 450. Why? Because we can. That's what somebody made the iron. It's at 450. I'm right there. Let's go. Yeah. 450. You can hear the
degrees and you combust the hair.
You can hear the hair screaming. You really can. You can hear it screaming as you, even before you touch it, the hair starts screaming, right? Even before. What? Okay. Come on. Yeah, we're gonna have company. I'm sorry, Alan. Come on, sir. So
come on over.
I'm at the salon today, guys. So in case you notice, I'm not at the office.
No, literally, this is our podcast stylist from the break room.
So it kind of fits the model of what we're doing. So anyway, getting back to our situations, one of the things that I've been talking to a lot of people around the country about is, you know, we prepare hair to receive color by clarifying. We prepare hair to receive color by doing protein and oil. We don't prepare the hair to receive toner after we've done probably the harshest possible system you could ever use on hair, which is lightener. And you know the rule, I know the rule, but do people all know the rule? Not to exceed 20 volume. But we all know that everybody does. I mean, they all do it. 30 and 40 volume with lightener, everybody's doing it. So if you create porosity, why aren't we doing a protein and oil before we tone? I'm asking. Is that something that we as educators should talk to more people about? Maybe it's that they don't realize the effects of lightener on hair, or maybe they don't realize the effect of bonding after lightening on hair.
There is one really strong fear that a lot of stylists have when they do their lightening, when they do their highlighting, and they achieve that level of lift that they wanted.
Yeah.
They get so terrified to do anything else to the hair because they don't want it to get darker. They don't want to ruin that. They don't want to compromise it. They don't want to do anything. And the thought is, for whatever reason, it's wrong, but for whatever reason, the thought is, if I don't touch it and I back away slowly, everything will be just fine.
Right. Yeah. Right. Well, we know how that works out. All right. Now we're all backing up with rear view cameras in our cars because backing up without them didn't help. We were crashing into things. So now we don't want you to crash. But if you really think about what that effect has on the filament of hair, you are filling all the irregular potholes created by lightener. So when I porosity balance root to end and I put my tone, you know, there's two sides of toning, the warm side and the cool side. On the warm side, we don't have any issues because what colors do, well, on the cool side, porosity laden hair only picks up blues. It repels reds and yellows. On the warm side, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how it's going to grab warm. So if I'm toning with the sun poppy or a tobacco or a chocolate, a diluted chocolate, or a red or a copper. It don't matter. They're reds. It's going to grab and it's going to bond. It's when I go the cool side of the equation and I'm worried about overload. And you know what happens when hair starts to grab? It looks like it's going really, really dark in the sink. That's when people freak out and they rinse it off too soon, and then the color is sheer. If you use a protein and oil base on the hair while you it's 2 minutes. Towel, shampoo the lightener out, towel blot the hair, load it with protein and oil, go mix your toner. When you come back, rinse it off and towel blot the hair again. Same towel if you're worried about, I can only use 3 towels per customer, whatever, right? Towel blot it and then put your toner on. The saturation is going to be a controlled saturation, not that sponge going on that color molecule.
So let's detail that out a little further, Tony. When you're mentioning the protein and oil combo, you're talking about protein complex?
Correct. Not all nutrients, protein complex, which is in cream form, and our pure oil, which is the lifeline of our company. And these are all gluten-free, organically based, vegetable-derived, certified when possible proteins, and our oils are just all natural, food-grade, small molecular oils that will
and you're
saturate.
cocktailing those two together.
And then, well, hair is made up of protein essential fatty acids. What are we doing? We're taking proteins and essential fatty acids. We mix them in a bowl. We're putting on the hair. We're replenishing what we just stripped out of that hair.
Right.
So as a result, when I put my toner on, guess what? I've got balanced color. I don't have that dreaded dark mid shaft to the ends or a different tone in the middle, a different tone at the root, because the root area color, even bleach, is going to be healthier and more resilient than the mid shaft to the ends. And the longer the hair, the more this comes into play. The only thing I say to people is, listen, we as educators, we can talk to you about it. We can relay. And I consider myself an informational source, just like you guys. We can give you the resource, but it's up to you to give it a shot. And the biggest complaint I have, I don't have the time. I haven't got time. I haven't got time to clarify. I haven't got time to do a protein and oil. How would you feel if you went to a doctor who said to you, you know, Ed, John, you both need lobotomies, which we probably all do, me, myself included. This operation usually takes 4 hours, but I'm playing golf in an hour and 10 minutes. I'm going to get it done, right? Are you going to stick around for that? I mean, it's a stupid, far-fetched analogy, but the customer is entitled to a dollar value of service for time and money spent in your salon. And if we learn that time in a salon is dollar value, and it's also increasing the quality of the final result, isn't that client nurturing? Isn't that client retention? Isn't that new customer potential from people who see that client in church on Sunday and say, where did you have your hair done? So, this is what this is all about. It's about business relationships.
Oh, absolutely. I want to walk you back just a couple of subjects, Tony. Let's talk about towel drying the hair real quick.
Okay.
Because so many people have that misnomer of, well, if I leave it too wet, it's going to dilute, or if I make it too dry, it's going to grab too much, blah, blah, blah. You know that story.
Well, a lot of people use water as a porosity balancer, which it is, but it's also a diluter. So soaking wet is not the answer, but dry is not the answer either. Towel blot, just right there at the sink, just towel blot the hair a little bit, give it a little tap, soak out some of the excess water, and go. Go ahead,
Right.
You're ready to go. Wet absorbs wet. Dry has to be wet before it'll absorb.
Right.
It's like the ShamWow theory. You know, until you wet it, force water into it, it won't soak. Once you do, and you wring it out once, it soaks up like crazy.
Right.
So it's the same principle. We're conditioning the fabric of hair to absorb.
Right.
I mean, I try to simplify things because I always learned the simpler, for me, the simpler the explanation, the better I could grasp it. And my goal has always been to try to give people a simple reason for wanting to try it. I did a workshop in Pennsylvania where people at this workshop had never clarified before. And of course, you know, and you guys have done workshops, when you invite clients to bring your clients, hairdressers, stylists, colorists, to bring a client to an event, they don't bring the best. They
No.
bring the train wreck. They bring the worst person they can find, right? And they bring it to you and say, "Go ahead, smart Alec. Let's see what you can do with this one." Little do they know, we're not doing it. They're gonna do it, right? So we did this little program, and we had about 8 to 10 models with teams from salons, and they all brought their worst case nightmares. Most of them. Well, I asked them to everybody. We don't clarify in our salon. I know you don't, but I want you to experience the act of clarification. So I forced them into clarifying, and I asked them before they clarified, "What kind of condition do you think that hair is in?" She said, "Oh, I know what kind of. I do it all the time." No. Right now, what's the condition of that hair? Oh, I don't know. Well, 4 out of the 8, I would say in a grade of 1 through 5, were 4.5. 5 being the worst. 4.5. A couple of them were 3s. A couple of them were good. But until you clarify, you don't know. So I forced them all into clarifying. The ones that were really bad, we ended up doing protein and oil, reconstructive format before color. And we were doing single process color. Okay. Nothing outrageous. 3 of the people brought their models because they could not cover gray, no matter what they did. And it didn't matter the color line either here. They bounced. They've been through 5, 6, 7 color lines. Couldn't get it to color gray. I forced them into doing a clarification. I forced them. I gently persuaded them. You know, I'm Italian. I have ways. I made them an offer that they couldn't refuse. And then they kind of went along with it, you know. And the results were so spectacular that we did a fashion show at the end where they stood up in front of everybody else and went through the procedures of what they did. The one that was the worst, the case scenario, was a girl with long hair. She was a burgundy red, a brown burgundy red, level 6. Okay, not a BR. She was a BR with a little extra RB. All right. Her gray was always translucent. They clarified her. They did a protein and oil. This girl's hair was so beautiful. We brought her outside. We took some pictures. I don't have them. They have them down there. They were all blown away. Every single result was exceptional. So when we had our round table at the end as a wrap up, I said, "Does that kind of prove a point?" And one girl got upset. "Yeah, but I'm still not going to do it because I'm too busy." I said, "Well, that's why you have the right to, in your business, to do what you want. I'm here to say I'm the doctor that swabs your arm with alcohol before I give it a lethal injection on death row." Right? And she said, I get it. I said, "Give it a shot. Do you have to clarify everybody?" No. "Do you have to clarify anybody?" That's the first thing. No. If you don't clarify and you're getting the results that you want, go with it. But then occasionally you might have that person that comes in loaded up with silicone, wax, paste, hairspray buildup, flat iron, it's laminated, that she can go out in a rainstorm and her hair doesn't get wet because there's so much stuff on it. That's the person. Or, I know you guys talk about this, impressing that first-time client that comes to the salon. I don't know her hair. I've never met her before. I am meeting her for the first time right now. "Hi, my name is Tony. Thank you for coming into my salon. I want to get to know you. You have a consultation. My next step," and I explained it to him, "I'm going to clarify your hair because I really want to see where your baseline is as far as texture and porosity." "Oh, really? I've never been to a salon where they clarify before." "Well, this is what we do. And we take it to the sink, we clarify, go through the process. Then we analyze, and if she needs protein, I do a protein and oil. And then I get around to doing the color, and then we finish. And then I ask her how his experience was, and I want her to call me in a week to 10 days and let me know how her hair feels. And I'm going to recommend some products. If she picks them up from me, that's fine. If she doesn't, that's okay. I don't twist anybody's arm to buy products. I suggest what I think they should use. If you take my suggestion, and I'm one of these guys, if somebody says, "Well, I just bought," use what you got, use it, get rid of it, and then give this a shot. And then it's amazing how many rebookings you get, and it's also amazing how many people that person will send because we're doing things differently.
Yep.
So
Amen.
that's the way I kind of roll, and I know that's the way you guys roll too.
Yeah.
Build
Yeah.
me an expectation, Tony. So right now, the calico copper highlighting trend is going really hard. It's
Yeah.
spreading like a wildfire right now.
Yeah.
And it's a rehash of what we used to do in the late 90s, early 2000s, where they were really, really blonde and then they'd have a streak of dark or a streak of red. It's
Right.
basically a tricolor blocking technique of coloring.
It's a block. It's color blocking. Yeah.
Color blocking.
We're going, everything comes back around.
It
Right?
does.
Full
It
circle.
does. And it's fun, and there's different variations. They don't have to be as extreme. They could be more blended. You take thinner sections or you take fatter sections. You're more fashion forward and creative.
Sure.
It all works. It's a free for all, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Back then, we used to tone and deep condition and cellophane. We used to do so many different things to seal the cuticle down so those
Right.
three colors wouldn't bleed into each other,
Right.
and the color would last 4 or 5 weeks until their next visit. Nowadays, because so many people are not toning as often as they should, or they're not toning the right way, or as you just brought up, they're not preparing the hair for the toner to receive the toner, it's not lasting as long. What can you speak on to that about expectation?
Well, again, using the protein
Well,
and
for
oil
longevity,
as
I'm
as
talking
a
about.
between the lightener and the toner is key. If you're not having longevity, and it's the long hair that we have a problem with, and it's not so much in the root area, it's the mid shaft of the ends. Protein and oil will be a major player in
Okay.
whether you can get longevity toning or not. If you're having a problem with bleed off and whatnot, protein oil. The other key ingredient at the end of the toning process, acidify it. And you really got to use a low acid on pre-bleached hair because the cuticle is very non-resilient. In other words, it's been blasted with lightener. So using something like Color Safe and getting them to go home, a lot we don't have any control over home products. We
Right.
have control in the salon. So a lot of time, if a customer goes home and they're using Head and Shoulders, I'll just use that as an example. What's the pH? What are the ingredients? Ammonium hydroxide. What does that do to color? It's going to break it down. So, and then what's she using for a conditioner? Oh, she doesn't use a conditioner. Anytime you put water with some kind of a cleanse on the hair with the action of water, you're going to slightly open that cuticle, therefore inhibiting or promoting fadage or bleeding. And depends on how soon they wash their hair. We really need to do a better job educating our clients. There's no need to wash your hair the day after a highlight toner. You should be able to go 2 or 3 days. That gives the color molecules a chance to harden. When they're first done, those new molecules are very soft, pliable. If you leave them alone, they will solidify and become more rigid, therefore giving you better longevity of tone. I know this gets into the chemistry, and hairdressers will always say, I'm not a chemist, I'm a hairdresser. Well, if I maybe explain the chemistry, maybe the result you're getting you'll answer your own question.
Right.
So that would be my thought, is to do the protein and oil in between. And then make sure, and we're always in a hurry. Leave the Color Safe conditioner on the hair 2 or 3 minutes before you rinse it off. Give that acid a chance to really soak in and try to lock down that cuticle. It's not instant oatmeal. You don't put it on, wash it out while you're putting it on. Leave it on a couple of minutes. Again, it's the alcohol swab on the arm on death row. Leave it on. Let's give the hair a shot.
Yeah.
I love these new looks, by the way, this new color craze that we're doing.
Yeah.
And, like you said, it's not really new. It's like color blocking on steroids. And, it's like balayage. Oh, my God, this new balayage. I'm not going to tell you what year, but I did balayages in my early career. I was a balayage king, and I did a ton of balayage. And guess what? It's back. As a matter of fact, John, you weren't there, but we did that balayage class.
And we did a hydrolage. We did a hybrid version of it.
That's right. We did it on wet, and it was a ball. And people had a lot of fun. I hope they're still using those techniques.
They are actually.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
we
and then try to stay within the rules of lightning. 20 vol developer is what we recommend is a mass strength developer for a lightener. Try to work with that. That's more than aggressive enough for what we're doing. If you need to do more than that, I would suggest wipe it off, reapply, but don't blow it up to 30 and 40. I think the hair is really not everybody's hair can take that kind of abuse. That's all. And LC, I know we didn't talk about LC, but LC's lightening control, it's your protection. It's a product that virtually will eliminate breakage, strengthen the bonds of the hair naturally. It will hydrate the hair. It will bond the product quicker to the hair when it's most active, and it keeps the product moist. I don't know how much more I can say about LC, except it's a great product. And if you're somebody that is a slow foiler, it gives you the advantage of protecting the hair. If you're somebody that's a rapid foil and using more than the required, it's going to give you an area of protection. So dry, crappy feeling bleached hair should never be a situation in a salon anymore. Also on the toning side, the better the hair, the better the toner, the better the toner, the better the longevity. The better the longevity, the better you look as a colorist.
100%.
So,
it's fantastic information. One of the other things we do on here is we always sign off with words of wisdoms or a motivation. Do you have any advice that you generally give blanket for people all the time?
As far as motivation, come to work every day and you have to really enjoy what you do. You need to come to work with a positive attitude. Come to work with a smile. Come to work. Remember, we're in the business of making beautiful people look even more beautiful than they are. From a guy working in a cosmetology setting, it's like going to the candy store. I love my customers. By the way, this is 2025 will be our 50th year at my salon where I'm doing the podcast from. 50 years, same location, not the same staff, and I've lost a lot of staff due to illnesses and some sad. I've had some excellent, wonderful, terrifically talented people that have made me a success by working here. And I come to work every day just thanking God I have a wonderful place to go. And that's something I hope people really, really take from their job. We're in a great business. We're in a smile business. We're in making people feel good business. Let's not be grumpy about it. Let's embrace it. Let's
100%.
thank them for their business. Give them that friendly hug. And remember, Christmas is coming. So, hey, I hate to do this to you, but I got to go. I have a job. You guys
got to go to work, right?
Yeah, you guys work at Here's the Bling. I have a real job. So I have a client who's waiting for me right now, who's an absolute love that I'm going to go finish. But it was always a pleasure talking to both you guys.
Look forward to seeing you again, Tony.
Hey, listen, have me back. I love doing this.
Yeah,
so, is this a monthly event for you guys?
We do this podcast weekly.
Weekly?
Yeah.
Good.
So next Friday, I'll send you the link and you'll hop on again with us, right?
No. I can't next Friday. But listen, I'll tell you what, I'll prepare something that we can present in a couple of weeks. How's that?
Deal.
First of all, check with your audience to see if they want me back.
I don't even care.
Yeah, no. we have too much fun, Tony. This
Tony,
anytime, buddy.
I love you guys. Love you guys.
Talk about being Italian. I'm gonna voluntold everybody that they're gonna watch you. Okay.
All right. No, don't do that. I love you guys. And the people out there that I've met have been great. I have a lot of friends.
No, you're always a welcome guest to have. Guys, thank you
really
so much for watching. Give us a comment. Let us know. We'll put the description to the website for the colors so you could see these colors in action. We have them at HTB Beauty. These are the new colors from Keratin from All Nutrient. Thank you again for watching.
Yes, you'll have a new flyer coming out within a week on these colors. Awesome. Better descriptives. Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Soon. Bye-bye.
The SFTB podcast was not recorded in front of a live studio audience, so thanks for joining us for today's episode. If our hair topics made you smile, give us a thumbs up. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll read them while waiting for our color to process. Share this video with your stylists and friends. It helps us make a difference, one strand at a time. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode. because your hair deserves all the latest and greatest tips.